ये स्क्रिप्ट तैयार की है राकेश वर्मा ने. We're going to talk about something that every single citizen of India has, whether they know it or not. I am talking about an unbreakable shield and a really powerful sword given to you at birth by the Constitution itself. So let's dive in and figure out how to use them.
I mean, what if I told you that you actually were? See, the Indian Constitution isn't just some dusty old rule book. It literally hands you an unbreakable shield to protect you and a powerful sword to defend your freedom. These are your fundamental rights, and in this explainer, we're going to get into exactly how you can wield them. All right, first up, let's take a closer look at that shield. This powerful protection is found in Part 3 of the Constitution, covering Articles 12 all the way to 35. And trust me, this is way more than just text on paper. It's a solid promise of protection for every single one of us.
So, how is this shield of ours built? Well, it stands on 6 foundational pillars. We've got the right to equality, the right to freedom, the right against exploitation, the right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and, this one's super important, the right to constitutional remedies. These aren't just vague concepts. They are specific, legally backed rights that protect the most essential parts of a dignified life.
Let's zoom in on that first pillar, equality, as laid out in Article 14. Now, it has 2 crucial sides to it. First, equality before law. This means exactly what it sounds like. Nobody, no matter how rich or powerful, is above the law. Everyone plays by the same set of rules. Then there's equal protection of laws. This means the rules themselves have to be fair, treating people in similar situations in the exact same way. It's all about making sure everyone starts from the same line. So you might be wondering, who exactly has to honor these rights? Who is this promise made against? Well, the Constitution uses a specific term, the state. And Article 12 makes it super clear that this isn't just the central government in Delhi. It's a really broad term that covers everything from the parliament right down to your local municipal authority. They are all legally bound to respect your shield. Okay, but how does this shield actually work in the real world? Let's see it in action by looking at one of the most direct ways these rights are used in the fight against exploitation. This powerful line from the Supreme Court, wow, it really gets to the very heart of why these rights even exist. It's not just about dry legal principles. It's about making sure every single person, and especially every child, has a fair shot at a healthy, dignified life. And this image right here perfectly illustrates that ultimate goal. You see, the Constitution gives us specific articles designed to fight practices that degrade human dignity, making sure that every single citizen's worth is protected and upheld. Just look at Articles 23 and 24. They are absolutely crystal clear. They outright ban these horrible practices. We're talking about human trafficking, forced labor or Baygar, and dangerous child labor. All of them are unconstitutional, period. And what's so critical to understand here is that this protection applies not just against the government, but against private citizens too. Now, here's where things get really fascinating. The shield isn't some static, unchanging thing. It actually grows. It evolves. And no right shows this better than Article 21, the right to life, which the Supreme Court has constantly expanded to meet the challenges of our changing world. At its core, Article 21 makes a simple but incredibly powerful promise. But here's the thing. Over the decades, the Supreme Court has said that life means so much more than just breathing. It means the right to live with human dignity. And that single interpretation has been the seed from which so many other fundamental rights have grown. Just look at this journey to see that evolution in action. The right to education didn't start off as a fundamental right at all. Back in 1950, it was just a goal. But then, a landmark Supreme Court ruling in 1992 connected education directly to the right to life. That led to a constitutional amendment in 2002, making it an enforceable right for millions of children across the country. Amazing, right? And guess what? This process is still happening. In fact, just this year, in 2024, our shield grew even stronger to face one of the biggest threats of our lifetime. With this powerful statement, the Chief Justice of India basically connected the dots for everyone. I mean, think about it. What good is a right to life if the very environment that keeps us alive is collapsing? This really set the stage for a groundbreaking new development. And here it is. In 2024,
the Supreme Court declared that the right to be protected from the bad effects of climate change is now part of our fundamental rights to life and equality. Our constitutional shield just got a major 21st century upgrade. So we've got this incredible evolving shield. That's awesome. But what happens if someone actually tries to violate it? Well, that's where your sword comes into play. You see, the Constitution doesn't just give you rights, it gives you a powerful weapon to actually enforce them. Meet Article 32. It's so important that it's often called the very heart of the Constitution. And why is that? Because Article 32 is a fundamental right in itself. It guarantees that you can go directly to the Supreme Court if any of your other rights are violated. It's your personal, direct line to the highest court in the land. Now, your sword has 5 distinct and very powerful moves. They're called writs. The first, and maybe the most famous, is habeas corpus. Think of this as the ultimate defense against illegal detention. If someone gets arrested and their family thinks it's unlawful, they can ask the court for this writ. It's a direct command to the authorities that says, you may have the body, which means bring that person to court so a judge can decide if the detention is even legal. Next up, we have mandamus, which simply means we command. You can think of this as the official do your job writ. Let's say your local municipality is legally required to provide clean drinking water, but just isn't doing it. A citizen can go to court and ask for a mandamus, which would compel them to do their duty. It's a really powerful tool for accountability. Then we have prohibition. This one is all about prevention. A higher court issues it to a lower court to stop it from hearing a case that it doesn't have the authority to handle. It's kind of like a referee blowing the whistle and saying, whoa, stop. This isn't your game to play. Now, certiorari is like the corrective cousin of prohibition. If a lower court has already made an illegal decision or acted outside its authority, a higher court can use certiorari to cancel or quash that decision. So it's not about preventing an error, it's about correcting one that's already been made. And finally, there's quo warranto, which asks a simple question: by what authority? This writ is used to challenge a person's right to hold a public office. It makes sure that people in positions of public trust are actually legally qualified and haven't just grabbed the position unlawfully. So, let's do a quick recap. Habeas corpus protects your personal freedom. Mandamus makes sure public officials do their jobs. Prohibition and certiorari keep the courts in line. And quo warranto protects the integrity of public offices. These 5 writs, they are the sharp edge of your constitutional sword. And all of this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway of all. Your shield and your sword are not relics stuck in a museum. They are part of a living, breathing promise that is constantly adapting to the needs of our time. And the ultimate guardian of this promise? It's the Supreme Court. It's the institution whose job it is to interpret, defend, and even expand these rights, making sure our Constitution stays a relevant and powerful force for justice in an ever-changing India. So in the end, the Constitution gives you a shield and a sword. That's a profound promise of liberty and dignity. But the real question is for us as citizens, right? How do we make sure that this promise isn't just an idea on paper, but a lived, everyday reality for every single person in our country? Knowing your rights is the first step. And every topic you understand today builds a stronger, wiser version of yourself.
अगर ये जानकारी अच्छी लगी हो तो बस 1 सेकंड निकालकर वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें।
क्योंकि आपकी एक छोटी सी सपोर्ट से ही ऐसे जागरूकता वाले वीडियोस आगे बढ़ते हैं।
और हाँ, कमेंट में जरूर बताएं कि अगला वीडियो किस टॉपिक पर चाहिए।
धन्यवाद। मिलते हैं फिर से अगले वीडियो में एक नई जानकारी के साथ।